Hey guys, welcome back. Number two, part of the series about the cesspool and Reddit and cleaning it all up of the haters. We're talking about Makenji Karate here. They're in a interview. It's Karate Ramblings, episode 6, if I'm not mistaken, on Makenji Karate on YouTube. I will probably link it in the description. Why not? They have good content. I just disagree with on this. Um, they are really misrepresenting almost everything that Karate Combat is doing, saying that he's putting forth his grapplers, which we discussed are not his grapplers in the last one. He's saying that Karate Token costs $1,000. It does not it is 0.003 US dollars. We discussed like, oh, why is this not their place? We discussed a fair amount of just misinformation that he's putting forward, and it's just very aggravating that I'm having to deal with all that. um, but why I am doing this is because this is a through line through what people are saying in the combat Reddit, and some of the haters that sometimes pop up in the Discord or the Twitter or wherever, YouTube. They sort of share all of these really pedantic criticisms that they can't back up and don't really have real true information. They don't may not know, but it's lies. It's misinformation that they're spreading it without doing any kind of uh investigation on it first. Is just well, I'll let that speak to them and their ignorance. So we'll continue on in this video. Hopefully it's not going to be another hour, because I think we've touched on most of the points I wanted to. But there are some things that they continue on saying, because this entire thing is a Karate Combat shit fest. We all just shitting on Karate Combat.
But imagine if they had a karate event, full contact karate platform, because they do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, they do Muay Thai, kickboxing, and MMA. So they've got four combat sports on their platform already. But they know how to do it right, don't they?
So one championship which posts ridiculous, which I love, ridiculous Adobe shopped, like, hits him with a infinity gauntlet and turns him into dust type. Oh, was that PFL too? I think no, one championship did that as well. Um, and have fighters that also are really disrespectful with one another, and have a whole bunch of social media big personalities. Why are you appealing to that over Karate Combat, which has a lot of karatekas, and it's karate based, and they wear the karate dogi, and they have a whole subculture of karate? You know what I mean? You're insisting on something that I don't understand why. Like, they have to step in and do the karate fighting because they do it right. They will not beat the viewing experience of the pit. They could do it with maybe their money trying to overlap in the market, but Karate Combat is already overlapping the market and doing better. Why? Because it's a good product. Why you did you really not see all the fights, sir, on KC44? And maybe that will change your mind, because there was there was an event and then a subsequent separate event that happened in the same location and ring. You might just be misinformed.
Absolutely, they do it fantastically. But the thing is, I'd argue their karate event is actually their kickboxing event, because they get people like Takeru, he's a black belt in karate, but he's also a professional K1 fighter, going in and doing that. So if you ask me, the kickboxing event is the karate event, but it's a different rule set, obviously. But and sorry, I've got to go back to the other karate combat event, because there's one more thing that just really, I suppose, pissed me off. Last thing I'm going to say about this event, at least the last thing I can remember, was the police showed up.
All right. I don't know what I was doing then.
Listen, if you watch, first off, being a Floridian, not just a person from the United States, I'm an American. I'm from Florida and have spent some time and know many people from South Florida, mainly Miami, where that is. South Florida is where Miami is, if you're not familiar with the geographical location. That being said, when anything happens in Miami, the entire Miami-Dade police department shows up. If you don't recall, there was all these crazy conspiracy theories on TikTok. Not that I'm against conspiracy theories, but this one was just a distraction. On New Year's Eve of 2024, where the entire Miami-Dade police department showed up to this mall on New Year's Eve because some teens got in a fight. That's how it happens in South Florida, because you don't understand the politics over here and what the sheriff and the police are doing here and how they apply pressure. But if you did watch the documentary, they did have a permit. This was already okayed. This was already known about. It was handled very well in terms of a person that attended. Um, let's see if you represent what happened correctly.
Was it the last event? I must have missed it.
Not the last one, the one before that. So it was the first kickback event in President Asim's mother's backyard.
That was not the last event, or the one that before. It's 3 events ago now.
Shots of like the police coming around the corner with their sirens on, coming to the house, and then later on, Asim is bragging on this podcast he's doing, saying, "We had this epic Miami party. It was going so well. So much stuff is happening." And then, the police showed up and we were holding them back against the door, not letting them in. It was insane. Like, mate, are you bragging about A, probably pissing off your neighbours, B, trying to fight the police, and in America they're armed police at that, and C, sounding proud of that?
I don't know if you're familiar with Asim's culture, but they have a way of over-exaggerating things that happen. There was no such event that happened there when we were leaving. There was a large number of sheriff officers. Probably that entire sheriff department was there. I wouldn't be surprised. They do it all the time for BS. And once again, the permit was already had by the government. Local government already knew. People throw parties all the time at these mansions. It is what it is. And it's like the ending of every American house party story is that it gets busted up by the cops. That's how it goes. That's what police come here for. You never had that experience where you're from, that the police come and bust up a house party? I don't know what lifestyle you lived. I'm not a wild man, or maybe I was compared to your lifestyle. I mean, I guess that might be relative, but if we're talking about reality and people just living out normal lives, the cops come to parties and they shut them down. They even do that to clubs sometimes, whatever. You know what I mean? So that didn't happen. He wasn't shoving any cops. That's just an over-exaggeration. It's a story. It's just a rhetorical storytelling device, just like the rhetorical things you're doing to misrepresent Asim and modern combat status. So, unfortunately, once again, you're misrepresenting what actually happened. You don't know what happened. You haven't taken a look at what happened. There's a whole documentary that shows what happened. I was there and I saw what happened. It was handled very well. It was a very, very fun event, and I don't think that what you're saying about what he said and what happened is accurate, as a person who personally experienced it.
It's bringing, it's a bad image to portray, isn't it? Really,
it's a bad image. Is a bad image for what? For a person who's going with the house party theme for the card, or it's a bad look for what? The views that are still growing? What is it bad for? The celebrities that are giving pushes to this um, fighting promotion, including current champions from other promotions. Who is it bad? What bad look exactly? I mean, yeah, if you didn't see it and you just make a really bad image in your mind, and then like because you've already prejudged them and want to condemn them, then yeah, sure, I guess it's a bad look. You can't see me, but air quotes.
Again, talk about karate values, and what you should be doing is completely the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just want to highlight once again, returning to that video of Boss Rutan and GSP, like the shit talking was always allowed. There was about the bow and the respect after. This respect has always been there. That some people might be mad after certain matches is a part of you just got punched in the head. It's a part of being concussed. And in that moment where the blood is pumping, you have I'm not sure what bad look we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we talk karate values. I mean, the first lot of Karate Go on exactly the shining beacon of humanity, but
right.
as karate's develops, I know that they had their own fun, but from there we've taken karate and it's changed and it's adapted. It's gone back a bit. It's gone forward in different directions.
You're insisting on your arbitrary branch of how you learned karate and how your karate developed. How other people develop their karate, whether it's a hard or soft style, and their method of teaching and method of fighting, okay, and their method of is just as arbitrary and subjective as yours. And if you're going to insist on it while also misrepresenting and doing no research on the things that you're speaking of, you actually end up looking like an ass, an arse, as you say in the UK, a bellend, right? You look like a fucking bellend.
Modern karate and modern martial arts are not about picking fights with law enforcement, especially when you're the one likely to lose. And if you do lose, you lose in a horrific way. So yeah, he's bragging
okay.
about that.
Let me hear that again. What?
Especially when you're the one adapted, it's gone back a bit, it's gone forward in different directions. Modern karate and modern martial arts are not about picking fights with law enforcement, especially when you're the one likely to lose. And if you do lose,
now he's exaggerating his exaggeration about getting in a fight with the police. No one did that. That didn't happen. It was an over. You guys don't understand the image of just look at movies about from with American culture, like the movie House Party and House Party 2 and House Party 3 with Kid and Play. If you don't understand I think this might be a culture clash, but this image of the police trying to get in and then like people trying to keep them out and trying to keep the party going. It's just an American image from movies and pop culture. There was no fights with the officers. You're insane and you're misrepresenting what happened. You never saw any of the things you're talking about it and you're attesting to it like it's true. Please understand how disingenuous and false that is. If we want to talk about karate values, the truth, sir, tell it.
You lose in a horrific way. So yeah, he's bragging about that, and it's just, it's like, why and how did we get to this place?
Like I say, it's just all for the hype, isn't it? It's all for the publicity, but it's the wrong publicity, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
It's a normal thing for police to show up at house parties in Florida, especially South Florida. It's a normal thing for the entire department. It's just one of those fucking things they're trying to get people. We have a lot of cops. They enforce the policies, man. They enforce the policies. Okay? I don't know about your feckless like police system over there, but unfortunately, with a strong arm of a law over here comes with things like this that you are expecting. And we don't just capitulate to them either. But it's not that we fought. He's like, hey, I have a permit. It's not, come in here and, just arrest me. We have rights over here, unlike like your fallen state, the UK, where like 3,000 people a year are getting arrested for posting things on social media, my guy. Please calm the fuck down. Don't try to make a comment on American culture without even realizing it coming from your culture, my dude. I mean, I'm not. I don't want to be like, oh, American. That the da 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 da. It's not that, but I think that there's a level of you're commenting on American culture in a way that is so like, oh yeah, that's somebody that doesn't live in the United States and is told everything through the news. That's something they fucking say. But a person with a level head who's actually fucking experienced this or anything like that would have a much better understanding of the situation. And you should leave it to people like that to comment on it in the way that you're commenting on it. But you because you don't even know anything about American culture or Florida or Miami culture for that matter. If we're gonna go that deep, which is I guess is pretty niche. But all that being said, man, you don't know anything and you keep talking like you do. But almost everything you've said has been so utterly wrong, and I can't blame this other guy because he hasn't been saying that. He's only been going off what uh, Makenji's been saying. That's been misleading. He's like, oh man, well yeah, no, that's a bad look, and I'm like, oh, okay. But he did misrepresent KC44 and the quality of fights and the separate events that are happening consecutively.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I've heard that bad publicity is still good publicity because you get people talking about it. But after that, I mean, after that, no, even before that, I just unsubscribed from their YouTube channel. I still follow them on Instagram because that hardly takes any of my time. But I can't be bothered to watch these fights anymore. It's just taken everything.
You haven't said anything about the fights. You've only made critiques of their promotional style, what people have done in the crowd. You have talked about the IFC fights and their amateur fights, but you haven't talked about the karate combat fights at any of the events. You can't bother to watch them. Why? They're still karatekas. They're majority karatekas. What are you talking about?
That was good out of it.
Yeah, God, and I think when we started this doing this podcast here, we said we're going to try and be positive about things, and this one's been.
What?
This has been,
How has this been positive?
Absolutely.
How's this been positive?
Negative, but how can you be positive about it? It's.
Thank you for at least acknowledging it.
Calling out when it needs calling out. I mean, we can't just sit.
What needs to be called out is fucking lies, my guy. You've been lying. You haven't made one specific critique about the fights that you can't no longer watch. It's getting insane, dude. Like fucking is anyone else? Am I blind? Am I the only one? Like, dude, I hope this helps also the other people who are making these same specious claims all the time on Reddit. He's going to comment on Reddit too, don't worry. And he agrees with me, so I'm glad that me and him are in agreement on some things.
Here and pretend everything's fine and roses. I mean, we can say good things about karate combat. It still invites it's still a unique.
When? Oh, now we're doing it? Oh, never mind. Let them play it, Arthur.
Stage for fighters to get on. It offers a unique arena experience.
Oh, yes.
It offers, I mean, recently they've opened it up to a lot more kickboxers, samba fighters, MMA fighters as well, which isn't a bad thing, but then also you'd rather have more karate athletes in there.
You would rather have more karatekas in the karate combat. You would want that. And I get it. The majority of fighters are still karatekas. What you want isn't a specific criticism. You're just talking about your opinion about you don't like it because you didn't. Is there a specific fight you want to point to that you didn't like? No, we're just like, oh, I just can't watch them anymore.
That's what it was created for. But I think one
thing. Pretty sure there's always been fighters from mixed styles the entire lifespan of karate combat. Okay, so FYI, the entire time.
In which we suppose we don't give it enough credit for is that the fights are free on YouTube.
Yeah.
The fights are free on YouTube and they are live for free.
The fights are free.
I mean, you can get better fights for free on YouTube, can't you? We've mentioned it.
What? According to who? What fights did you not like other than the IFC fights? This is like, what are we fucking talking about? I all right.
And it's my favourite platform at the moment. It's One Championship.
Absolutely.
Okay, you
At
like
the
one
moment,
championship.
that is still free, isn't it? So at the moment, so I don't know if that's.
Okay, you like one championship, cool. But you know what? The viewers say that they like Karate Combat more. They are number 2 behind UFC. That's how many views they've gotten. So, okay, I'm sorry that you don't like it anymore, but the viewers speak for themselves.
Well, the thing is, One Championship is a unique one in that some of it's MMA, Muay Thai, and Jiu Jitsu.
Oh, I guess Karate Combat isn't doing karate and jiu-jitsu. Oh, wait. So I guess they're not unique anymore. Oh, but I guess they stepping out of line and what what are they're supposed to be positive? They're trying to say positive things about it and they've just gone back to negative. Okay.
Boxing and kickboxing events are free every Friday.
That's true.
But to get some of like the big fights, you have to do the pay-per-view. But then I love how everyone on the online forum sort of just complains that, yeah, but I want to see the fight, but there's a paywall now. But it's like, okay, give it a week, and that fight that people's paying to see live will be up on their YouTube channel for free.
See, you don't understand. It's the live experience. That's why the YouTube of Karate Combat is so popular. It's being able to watch it live and experience it live with other people as it happens. Getting the information and getting to watch it for free a week later isn't important. You can fucking watch the clips on all the different social media. You can read the Twitter, you can read the SureDog, you can read the whatever site that you prefer for your sports information, whether it be play by play or overall results. And it, by the time that a week comes by, you already know who won. If you follow them on any other social media, all the results are out. It's not fun anymore. It's that experience of experiencing something with everybody else is a part of the social experience of human beings. Yada yada yada. Humans are social creatures. Boring, but you don't fucking understand it because you don't trying to put yourself in it because you're so dismissive of the entire thing because you probably think that you're above it. But needless for the rest of humanity, having the experience of watching prize fighting live as it happens is a part of why it is so exciting. And now you add up only gaming or some type of wager, and now you've invested more than just emotionally. You've invested more than just emotion. Now you're more emotionally involved, and that's also a part of sports and prize fighting it's more specifically. But the same goes for all betting and pretty much any other type of game. You're more involved with it now because you have something riding on the line, and so more people want to watch it live because they have the up only, and it's a ingenious market strategy. I just don't understand why you haven't taken the time to actually look at it, but you've taken the time to criticize it.
Who does that? I mean,
who does that?
Yeah, sure. The really big fans will go and pay for it, and they are heavily advertised through their sponsors, which isn't. I don't think it's too big of a problem, but they still keep a lot of integrity in the fights. The fights are about the fights and really respectful characters.
They have. Oh, see how he lost his smile there? They talk shit all the time in One Championship. It happens all the fucking time at the weigh-ins, at the ceremonial fucking face-off, at the press conferences. They're piping fights, my guy. That's the whole fucking thing. And if people are getting more eyes on Karate Combat, guess who's more successful than in comparatively? Now, they also have their matches free on Amazon Prime Live, I think, too. So if you just have a Prime membership or a Prime Video, you can also get those. If you're not aware, I do want to leave you with something that might help you with the things that you like.
Yeah, I think the only thing about watching a week later is you probably know the result. Unless, you hide yourself away for a week.
You gotta hide yourself for a week. Now we have to live. You have to live as a fan, and you have to live hidden as a fan. You have to hide. You have to the thing that you're a fan of. You have to take a little celibacy. You have to abstain for it for a week. Is that how? Is that how fandom works? Is that how being a fan of something? Okay,
There to watch the fights for the hype. I mean, there is some hype around some fighters like
there's some
Ugor,
hype.
Rod Tang, Super Lek,
Yeah,
Takeru. Um,
all those guys do funny skits on their social media and are characters. Oh, what the fuck? That's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Being a character with your stuff that you're oh, you sometimes they say offensive things on their social media. No one cares because they're just fighters. But because if it's a seam, I don't because you don't like whatever I don't know. It's so crazy.
Jonathan Haggerty,
I
Stamp Fairtex.
follow them. Stamp posts silly dances all the time. She's a character too. Is that okay? Like,
I forget her name, but her nickname is Android 18. But I do get hyped up when you see like the big names come out. But you know, I'm there to watch some really good quality and high level striking. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the high point for me.
Not the 2 old men down at the Dog and Duck. Like
Was it the Dog and Duck or Karate Combat?
that was IFC. You guys are such dunces.
The Dog and Duck. Yeah, really. Yeah, who can tell? Who can tell? But yeah, so I think yeah, I think there's nothing more well that I'd want to say on it really with the Karate Combat. I think it's been a bit of a negative one. He did bring up some positive points, and they did do like an amateur league as well, didn't they? I think.
Yes.
They
talking about
it was like the Kumite, wasn't it?
Yes, the Kumite. Yeah. I thought that was really good, unique, and innovative. I mean, it added that. It made it feel like a bit of a reality TV show, which I'm not always a fan of. But for something like this, because it's real as opposed to people just putting on over expensive outfits and messing around too much.
It was
you know,
a chance for the amateur fighters to get into the Karate Combat League, wasn't it? So,
if you watched once again the Karate Combat Kickback, what they're talking about, and then the documentary afterward, and other videos, you would see that the Karate Combat Kickback was exactly the same thing, where they looked at the videos and offered contracts to the fighters at the Karate Combat Kickback 1. It was literally another version of the Kumite. That's why it was a dialed back experience that was more down to be a party, because there was more amateur fighters that they're trying to put on for future talent. Many were karatekas. There were a couple of non-karatekas or mixed. They did karate and other martial arts, which is most martial arts, by the way. They are doing more than just karate. But they're denoting their karate style as their main style for the promotion. No one's just doing one style; they're doing many styles. Um, in that way, we're seeing no departure from anything before, but it's insisting on something that's ridiculous. So, just FYI, while they are shitting on the kickback and the house party, it was literally the same thing as the kumite and just put in a different, done in a different method. It was just packaged in a different way. You didn't even watch it or know it because you've already decided in your own mind that you don't like a seam or something like that. You're spreading misinformation, and I'm not really sure what the purpose is for all that. I'll let them continue again.
Messing around too much.
It was a chance for the amateur fighters to get into the Karate Combat League, wasn't it? So,
in the Discord, when you talk to the people of the Discord, like the moderators that are involved over there at Karate Combat, they're saying that there's going to be more kumites. It's not the end of the kumite. And once again, if you're just watching the material on Karate Combat and not just making these like presupposition suppositions of no, not even like these. You're just assuming all these things about that are wrong. They're just false.
That was really
Absolutely.
good as well.
Yeah,
And
I
they
thought
wore
that.
gi tops, didn't they?
Yes,
Sleeveless
they
ski
wore
tops.
the sleeveless ski tops. I thought those
Yeah.
were sick. Those were good.
They are sick.
Yeah, which I think we need at our dojo. The sleeveless ski tops.
We do, but you know, if going for gi grips are going to make it a little bit more difficult, then you just go for a grip and just like start peeling their skin off, like.
You'll learn to wrestle, my guy, and then go for collar grips and Shu Jiao wrestling, which is Chinese wrestling. They have like a vest. You might want to invest some of those tactics if you're wearing a sleeveless gi top and doing grappling martial arts, because Shu Jiao has something very similar in terms of their equipment that they train with that would transfer over into your karate, because a lot of karate is wrestling, and going back through its lineage back to Chinese kung fu and old Shujiao movements, which has been pointed to by other creators on YouTube like Karate Breakdown. I forget who else. Maybe Chadi also, who's a judoka, might have pointed to something like this as well. Um, it's just worth noting because once again, I'm not just trying to shit on them. I'm just trying to correct the lies. You know what I mean? Like I like they say stuff that I agree with, obviously.
Lapel grips. We go there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just go for the
that
local
was really
lapel.
good. That was a good thing they introduced, but that was a while ago, wasn't it? Give or take. It was feels like it was almost a year ago. It feels, and yeah, probably that was the last good thing I remember them doing. And then yeah, from there it's a slippery slope going down.
It's nosedived.
If they watch it, Karate Combat, sort it out.
Absolutely.
Not that they're going to watch this.
They haven't denoted one fight that they didn't like. They just are made fun of the fights at IFC. They made fun of the thing that happened at the kickback. They lied about the price of the coin. They made a whole bunch of very subjective criticisms. And this is very um common among these haters on Reddit and among other places where they're not. Oh, and you see that Karate Combat sucks after I said all these things that I'm complaining about. That just sounds like whining and doesn't have any reason behind it or actual things to fix. Yeah, fix your attitude, Seem, and the way that you promote. You're promoting too much in a way that I don't like it. I mean, I didn't even mention anything about promotion in terms of like it being important for the life um of a business that's specifically prize fighting, which is a fight promotion. Not only that, but I'm also like, why would they do that? Are you don't really understand that? Like, things don't just exist for your entertainment. It must be financed.
I would love to actually someone to interview people like Bus and GSP to just
Boss of GSP who were in that video who were totally okay with the shit talking. At least in that interview, they didn't show any disgust at it, and rather they highlighted that there was still respect when they bowed against each other and then saved it for the ring. Just like everything else. Oh, why would Asim get in the middle? It's so controlling because he's selling fights. He's not selling. He's not selling. Oh man, there's a spider. Get off there. Um, they're selling fights. They're not selling feels good for a very niche people that don't like one particular thing about the direction of this company, and then saying that the fight sucked, but not like denoting what fight sucked, other than the IFC known to be immature fight league fights. Yikes.
down and ask them, this is what Karate Combat was when you started. This is what it's like now. What are your thoughts?
Do you know what? Our friends, Chris Hansen has interviewed Bast, hasn't he? And also Greg and Sue from
Catch a Predator, Chris Hansen?
Yeah.
They've also interviewed Bast. So, maybe we could have a chat with him.
Yeah, we'll sit him down
That'd
and
be
ask
pretty
him
awesome.
what are his thoughts on karate combat
What's
today.
going on?
I mean, on the shit talking, he's obviously against you guys, and you obviously not paying attention to any of the material that they've been pointing out for years.
I mean, he's the real driving force behind a lot of karate combat, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boss Rutan, he's a legend.
He's still the biggest name in it, really. You know.
Absolutely.
Panel.
I mean, Lyoto, GSP, Stephen Thompson, they're pretty big too. Boss Rutan is a legend for us more, obviously, because we're the older crowd, and I understand that. But some people don't even know who Boss is. They know GSP, so you got to give credit to where credit's due.
Yeah, so Bass, if you're listening, you know, or if anybody knows Bass, drop him a line.
If anyone can get this recording to Bass, you know, just ask him, hey, we might want to do a slightly controversial interview with you.
Please get these videos to Makenji Karate, because they need to stop embarrassing themselves, and especially if they're going to try to interview Boss Rutan, because it's going to be not a good time. Might be really embarrassing.
Oh dear, but you know, I mean, yeah, he'll turn up wearing a Hawaiian shirt and sandals.
It's still kick our ass.
Absolutely, he would. Yeah, absolutely would.
True. Boss Rutan, legend. Met him twice. Touched such an OG. Even remembered me. What a absolutely great man.
Yeah, it is.
Christian and everything. He has great faith beliefs. A man that I definitely admire.
They do still have the big names behind it, so I don't know if that's just their personal choice, if they feel like they're earning good money from it, if they enjoy the new direction. Don't know. It's up to them, but.
Yeah.
I'm just not seeing this new direction that you're talking about, because all the things that you're talking about already happened or are growing the company and is within the boundaries of what we know as karate. Not really sure what what he's talking about. This new direction, the shit talking that always happened in prize fighting. What?
Needless to say, a lot of karate fans are very much switched off from it now. I mean, most people just watch one championship. Even like I said, online on Reddit, there's a Karate Combat sub Reddit, which is like its own forum, and 9 times out of 10, the posts on there are just people complaining.
Right.
Absolutely. Oh no, that's not true, Arthur. They say, and that's not true, man. They say in the comment of my post, no, that's not. Oh, not everybody's complaining. No, everything is complaining except Mac Tyson. Mac Tyson posting on the forum, and me, because I post things, and I think there's this new guy that's trying to move into the karate combat sphere, who also does MMA, and he's also going to do. I think he's also do. I gave him a couple likes on this video. He's a young lad. I think he's also from the UK. Um, so yeah, I don't know what the fuck I don't know what the problem is.
Okay, yeah, I don't do Reddit. So. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the viewing figures.
There's a Karate Combat sub Reddit, which is like its own forum, and 9 times out of 10, the posts on there are just people complaining.
And they're all doing shit like you with the misinformation. They're not looking at the numbers, that they're doing better, that the majority of fighters are karatekas. They're not breaking down any kind of statistics. They're not noticing that the champions are all karatekas. Like, we're getting big names to fight, like Benson Henderson versus Showtime Pettis. We've got Lyoto's brother fighting. They have Luke Rockhold fighting in the next event. Turbo Levine, he's middleweight champion. He's a karateka. He's a totally cool person too. I talked to him, went to his seminar, and interviewed him, which is also available on this channel if you want to check it out and you like this material. That being said, yeah, there's people complaining on Reddit. Welcome to Reddit, where everybody fucking complains. That but it's really just adding to my point where Reddit specifically the karate combat Reddit is just like so inundated with people who are just hating on it. No one's talking about how the fights are bad. They're just like, well, I just don't like there's different styles, and I don't like the cryptocurrency because I heard it was a scam one time. It's just like it's so like pedantic and shallow of an argument, and I fail to see what that means for anything in terms of the fights. They're like, I can't watch the fights. Oh, so the fights are bad, or you don't like the karatekas that are actually fighting there. You just rather not watch them because there's some people that aren't karatekas there. Like, what are you talking about? It's so childish.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't do Reddit. So. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the viewing figures are like now. Whether it has dropped off with the way it's gone.
The thing is, they probably would have dropped off.
More people are up gaming than they ever have. More people are subscribed than there ever been. They're getting more views than they ever have. Drop off? Okay.
With karate fighters, but increased with the jiu-jitsu audience. So
Why is that you're assuming that? Why would it there's only a couple of matches there jiu-jitsu? It's still karate. What are you talking about? Please substantiate that. That's just something that you're saying because you feel that way. There are tons of karateka in the Discord alone and at the event that I met in person that are like, this is karate still. This is karate. This is what karate looks like. This is in a pit. People have different styles. Okay. This is karate. The fighters, like, yeah, this is karate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand where like this zealous fervor to put this down, but not really produce anything other than your feels.
Yeah, maybe. Jits in the pits.
Jits in the pits. Right. Yeah, once again, I do like the name. Right. I do appreciate the expansion.
Jits in the pits. I'm going to use that name.
With that and the new culture, it just feels so out of place.
Man, I would love to compete.
But like you say,
I would love to compete in Jits in the pits.
Right, combat, isn't it? So it was a platform for karate. So,
oh fuck.
It should be sticking with it and trying to promote good karate.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey ho.
I think. Are we done there today? So that's enough rambling.
I think that's enough rambling. I think you hit the nail on the head right there. So, yeah, as usual, thank you very much for listening, guys. We appreciate it. Give us a review on our Spotify. Like us on YouTube. You can follow me at Makenji Karate.
Yeah, and I'm Brian Bates, Ancient Karate.
Brian.
Platform, so just check it out.
All right, awesome. Thanks again, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the work that they're doing. That they're willing to communicate and put their information out there, but unfortunately, they're completely misinformed. Let's wrap this up. Let's get something nice in the background. Some little palette shift, huh? In the background, we've got the Sabaki Challenge here, which was a mix of karates of all sorts. That's a Kyokushin guy. Ooh, look at those knockouts. Oh, I forget that guy's name. I forget who that was. He was in one of the first UFCs. Ooh, I can't remember it right now. Boom. Oof. Dang. Anyway, this tournament happened in the 80s. It was totally full contact. Look at this. People were saying back then that this is just a blood sport and they just want to see a bloodbath. But this is real karate, and it's because that's how it goes. Yeah, there's throws and there's strikes to people on the ground, and there's leg kicks and there's jumping back. Ooh, that was a nice jumping back kick, honestly. Damn, the wheel kick here. Anyway, so I'll let that play in the background. There was a mixed styles. They included Kempo, which some purists of karate combat do not want to include. There was Taekwondo guys and men of all sorts, and once again, in the last video, we discussed how people don't include Taekwondo or maybe even Kyokushin or American karate or kickboxing. They just don't accept it as. I know his name. I know his name, and I can't remember it at this moment. Oh, boy. Pat Smith. That was Pat Smith. Yes. Okay, that's a satisfying win for me. So that's Pat Smith. Anyway, he was in one of the early UFCs. Anyway, let me finish this video here for you guys. I know that I've been going on for a very long time. There was a lot of disinformation, misinformation. I won't say disinformation. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose. Sometimes it felt like that, but I won't ascribe anything malicious to something that could first be, ascribed to ignorance, incompetence. But he did make some bold claims with no backing that were factually wrong. So, I hope that he sees this and sees that. So, but the whole point of this video is to point out that that's what most of the complaints on the Reddit look like. This is literally it. Like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like where it's going. I don't like Asim. I don't like how some of it, he might have some of his fighters on a card that he's promoting. He's the promoter. Like, this is all ridiculous. This is all ridiculous. Oh, I don't like shit talking. Shit talking's been there the entire time. It always will be in prize fighting. It has never not been in karate. I don't understand what anyone's talking about. It could be anything. It's always been around. Some people do, some people don't. There is no specific preference to one or the other unless you are going to make a subjective appeal to your style, or you're saying that objectively people who are not a certain way do not count as karateka, which is just as bad as saying, well, these styles that are from karate do not count. So all that being said, it's all just one wash for me. I hope that y'all took some entertainment from this, some educational for some educational purposes, and understand what we're doing here on Arthur Fantastic when I'm doing this series. Is not just to, like, I'm not just attacking them. Once again, I will link to their channel. It's about the disinformation and misinformation that has been going around about karate combat, and that people making wild claims that it's going through the community, even though this is the community too, because it's all complaints, or maybe he's using that as he's appealing to that. I don't not. It seems like both. Um, it's you if you get a broader view, it's all kind of silly because all of it was wrong. Um, and sometimes you got to point out the mistruths. You know what I'm saying? I still enjoy Karate Combat. Getting ready for the next one, Karate Combat 45 in Dubai. I'm hoping to be in the next one, to be at the next one after that in Austin. Time will tell. Maybe like a sort of, we got a little present for my baby over here, a slash anniversary present. But if we do that, I will try to get some video and put it out for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. This isn't a takedown. He still has great content. Go watch it. It's just correcting the falsehoods. You know what I mean? And as brothers in martial arts, we need correction from one another. And so, it is what it is. I hope that this helps, and I ask that you stay up, stay vigilant, stay locked and loaded. Shalom, shalom, peace in y'all.